Hello, and welcome to episode 1 of the Compassionate Climb podcast. I am your host, Julia Napini, and today I will be sharing my professional climb with you all. I was destined to land in a helping profession. I was a nurturer and a caretaker right out of the womb. I am the oldest of 3 siblings. I have 2 younger brothers. We could not be more different, which is a beautiful thing. So a lot of my professional journey was trying to find out and understand this fascinating concept that you could all be from the same family, raised by the same parents, grow up in the same household, and be nothing alike. I went to St. Anselm College in Manchester, New Hampshire for undergrad, not necessarily knowing what I wanted to major in, and I was simultaneously taking a psychology and a sociology course, and everything in the sociology course intrigued me. So that's what I decided to major in. I did a lot of volunteer work during my time there. They have an amazing community service department. We went on trips all over the United States. I even went to Honduras. And that really shaped my path as a social worker. So they did offer a social work concentration there. I took all of those courses and I went straight on for my master's at Bridgewater State University. During that time, I had 2 internships. The first was at a specialized foster care agency, and the second was at a community mental health center as a therapist. And from that point on, therapy has always been a part of my professional life, even working in other places. I did crisis evaluations. I worked in a hospital as a medical social worker, but I was always seeing clients part-time. February 2017, I made the decision to start my own practice, in large part because I became a mom. And I really needed to find something that I could do that was flexible and where I was able to really shape my schedule around her needs. So 2 years later, in February 2019, I felt ready to take the plunge into private practice full-time to leave the hospital, which was extremely daunting for me. I'm sure a lot of you can understand that, especially being a parent, when you have a position that is salaried, it's predictable, you have set hours, you have incredible benefits, including health insurance. Becoming a business owner comes with a lot of uncertainty. But I did my planning and I had set aside some money and ultimately felt like this was the best decision for me. And honestly, I have never looked back. Very early on, there were 2 professionals that I had known, colleagues of mine, that had incredible skills and were qualified to be therapists, but had never actually served in that role. So I brought them on and served as a supervisor for their clinical cases, but also as a consultant with regard to the business side of things. They both ultimately started their own businesses, have been incredibly successful, and it has been very rewarding to see them grow and succeed. So once they transitioned out of the practice, I realized how much a team would benefit me, would benefit the community. There were so many people in need and referrals that were coming in on a consistent basis, and I had already established these systems that were working successfully. So May 2021, I hired my first full-time clinician. And from that time until now, we have grown to a practice of 16. We have 8 full-time clinicians, 8 part-time clinicians, an administrative assistant, a biller, a human resource consultant. So it has truly taken off. We serve the whole family. It is a multidisciplinary practice. We run groups, we've run workshops, and there is such a strong culture and positive environment. So I was truly able to take what I had learned from my previous work experiences and adopt those things that worked well and transform the things that did not. So very proud of how far we've come, how much we've grown, and the incredible work that is being done. So that led me to Compassionate Consulting Company in November 2021. I had established that business, and it came from all of the experience that I had starting the practice in the way that I did, expanding the practice in the way that I did. I also became a forensic social worker. So I went through a divorce when my daughter was 2. Her father and I used a mediator and had a positive experience. We were very amicable and able to reach agreements. And so when I found out that licensed mental health professionals were qualified to not only mediate divorces with training, but also to serve as a parenting coordinator, which is a professional that helps high conflict parents navigate the aspects of their parenting plan that can sometimes come up post-divorce. It seemed like the perfect blend of my personal and professional journeys. I was actively co-parenting on a regular basis, and even though my daughter's father is wonderful, there are definitely challenges within that relationship, and I was able, with training, to use that experience to help other parents successfully navigate their relationships post-divorce or separation. So I also am able to help through the consulting business other clinicians diversify their practices. So not only expand, but incorporate these other aspects of business so that they're not limited to just one-to-one counseling. They can broaden the scope. They can utilize all of their skills. They can take their training and their specialties and reach so many more people. And I have to tell you, it has been some of the most rewarding work I have done professionally. You're working with educated, motivated, highly functioning individuals who, with very little guidance, support, and direction, take off and soar. And I am honored to be a part of that journey in any way. I also unofficially helped a lot of my own colleagues. So for a period of time, I was their unofficial consultant that they would go to with a lot of business and practice related questions. So at that point, it made sense to make it official and actually develop a system to help these practitioners be successful. We don't get business training in graduate school. And unless we seek out a business degree, we're learning by doing. And as much as podcasts were so vital in my evolution as a practice owner, it helped me to feel like I wasn't alone. There were other professionals out there who were going through the same things that I was going through. I was able to get resources and direction. I had to put a lot of time in to find the right podcasts for me, to find clinicians that resonated with who I was and how I wanted to practice. And not all practices are created equal. I am a strictly insurance-based practice. We are in an area of Massachusetts where the majority of people that are seeking mental health treatment want to use their insurance benefit and are not financially in a position to pay privately. So with that being said, we have these added obstacles of an insurance company that caps what they're willing to compensate you. And there are a lot of aspects of being an insurance practice that really make us unique. So all this to say that my experiences have really helped me and prepared me to help others. I have not necessarily done everything right. There have been times when I have stumbled and I've had to course correct and change things. And so my ultimate goal is to make the process feasible, to decrease the overwhelm, to provide direction and a process, to support and encourage, and to really expedite. Because if I'm able to connect someone to a resource that would have taken them time to find and to listen and to digest, and just by providing that, they can then take it and run with it, it's invaluable. So that's where that leg of the business came from. So this podcast seemed like the next natural progression for me. I benefited so much from my own podcast that I was listening to. I started to get interviewed on different podcasts, and I realized how that was such a great opportunity for me to pause, reflect on my own journey, acknowledge how far I had come, that I had information that I could share that was of value to other people. And so this has really been a long time coming for me. And I feel truly honored to have this platform to be able to share. So ultimately, what you can expect from this is information, valuable takeaways. This is for anyone who has an interest in business, mental health, who shares the similar core values of integrity and compassion. Anyone who's interested in the journey of other professionals and how they have achieved success and maintained it, how they are training their teams, so hiring individuals that share those same values, operating a business that they can be proud of, and what steps they're putting in place so that regardless of what happens in the future of their business, they're going to be able to weather the storm and maintain that success in spite of all of it. And I feel like I'm a true testament to that. So I appreciate you being here and listening, and I look forward to continuing to share more about these topics with you all.